Can From the World of John Wick, Ballerina hold up with the rest of the John Wick franchise? Well, let's see. The plot of Ballerina is about Eve, played by Ana de Armas, on a quest for revenge. Eve is a ballerina assassin, the assassin group that we see throughout the John Wick universe. Ballerina also takes place between John Wick 3 and John Wick 4. It's directed by Len Wiseman, who also directed the Underworld franchise. It's not directed by the original director of the John Wick movies, which some may think. The two biggest concerns I had coming to this movie were, does this movie feel like it's set in the John Wick universe? And can Ana de Armas be a believable action star, since this is her first time really trying it out? And I have to say, my concerns were answered. The movie totally makes you believe that you're in a John Wick universe, and it holds up with the rest of the John Wick movies with the secret assassin world, and it builds more of it. Ana de Armas, for the most part, is very convincing as a ballerina assassin, and the film doesn't shy away from her physical capabilities. Her teacher points out that she is smaller and weaker than everybody she'll fight, but that she needs to take advantage of that. I really appreciate that. She's a girl, she's not a man, she needs to have other abilities that aren't pure strength. Ballerina does a good job of pointing out that Eve isn't John Wick as well. She's someone else. She loses some fights, and she's not great at everything. There are times that she just straight up gets captured and loses. She's a real character, a real assassin. She's not a Mary Sue. I mean, there were some scenes where you'll be questioning, how is she alive and how did she win that certain fight? But honestly, that just comes with this genre of action movies. John Wick is also in this movie, and I was worried he would be there just for marketing purposes, but he does contribute to the plot, and although it's not a lot, it is some bit there, and you can see how he was written, and it feels natural that he's there. The setting of Ballerina is also great and holds up with the rest of the John Wick movies. The final setting for Ballerina is unique and does a great job of adding to the John Wick universe. The action, explosion, kills, and guns are all awesome and entertaining, and like the rest of the John Wick movies, are great and worth a watch. The cinematography is underrated in my opinion, and there were plenty of awesome shots throughout the whole film. All of John Wick movies have great cinematography, and I don't think that's talked about enough. Despite all of Ballerina's positives, there are still some flaws. The plot is the same thing as the first John Wick, and the Ballerina doesn't do a good job of making the audience feel for Eve's desire for revenge. Well, at least for me it was. In the original John Wick, I was all in for John Wick's quest for revenge and all the action he does in the later movies. But for Ballerina, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, I understand why she's doing the things she's doing, and I want her to get her revenge and, win, but I'm not, totally invested. I'm not there like I was in the original John Wick movies. I also felt like that once Ballerina took off, it didn't stop. There was no breathing room, and sometimes that works for movies. However, for an action movie, I don't really think it works. The first bit of the movie is just building up character development and plot development, and then it just gets right into the action, and it's just non-stop action for the whole movie. The violence and action start to become repetitive and boring, and that's what happens when it's just non-stop action. There's no breathing room. I feel like if the movie stopped at certain points and allowed for more character development or more talking scenes, it would allow this movie to be better and allow the audience, especially me, appreciate the action and violence more throughout this movie. Ballerina did have a good ending and left plenty of room for a sequel if this movie performs well, which I highly doubt it won't do well. I see this movie making money. I would definitely go see another Ballerina movie if it's a Ballerina sequel or John Wick 5 with John Wick and Eve teaming up. I think Eve is a very interesting character, and I liked her, and I support her. So it'd be great to see her again. I don't think she's boring. I think she's a well-written character. Ballerina definitely can say it holds up with the rest of the John Wick movies, but it's definitely not the best movie out of them. I'm going to have to give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's a solid movie that's very entertaining, and I would recommend it to any John Wick and action movie fan. It's just not quite to the level of the rest of the John Wick movies. So what do you guys think of From the World of John Wick, Ballerina? You even like that title? It's kind of long. Was my rating fair? Comment below your thoughts. Thanks again for watching, and please subscribe and leave a like. Goodbye, y'all.